Hi, True Crime Grapevine fans. All right, still me, Patty Lee, your favorite dyslexic armchair detective. And this is week 27th. We are covering all the YouTube media biggest talked cases in the week of August 24th through September 2nd. So we talked about crimes that have just been committed. Now we're to the gotcha phase. We have a huge one to start with. All right, so this case that we have, whoops, we're going to have to get a new drink soon. I love a red, white, and berry cooler. This episode is brought to you, speaking of dyslexia, by Smirnoff Ice. Yes. It's my unofficial sponsor. All right. So, in 2016, this beautiful young lady who had 2 children, Krystal Mitchell, fabulous, smart. She's stunning. She was going to. She was a property manager getting her real estate broker's license. There was a guy, though. Her only fault, you would say, Krystal's only fault was that she liked, like, the overly muscly, Goomba type guys. Is that a bad phrase? Sorry. I don't want to give them a bad name. Yeah, Raymond R.J. McLeod. His name is spelled M-C-L, capital L-E-O-D, but you say it like McLeod. Seems like all these alleged bad guys, we say their names differently than they're spelled. He is now 38, but this happened when he was, look at me, I have to do this subtraction, 32. He was, this was 6 years ago in 2016. He had been dating Krystal that he met because he moved into the properties, the apartments that she managed. So Krystal, as a properties manager, was running background checks, and she ran 2 of them before they rented him the apartment. And he was an ex-Marine, and he looked like a clean-cut guy. He even had his own child, and she thought he looked like good material, and plus he was fine, like buff, just like she liked it. Personally, I like guys who aren't too skinny, but I do not like sorry guys. I don't know why I'm sorry. Nobody's looking for a 50-year-old girlfriend, but seriously, very steroidy look, like bodybuilding. Not that you have to take steroids to bodybuild. I know people do it organically, but I'm just saying. Relationship going well. He wanted to take her on a vacation to San Diego, and he had some friends there. So they go to San Diego. Her mom's watching her children. I think his is with his ex. She calls about an hour away. They live in Phoenix, so they drive there. Close enough to get to the beach, though. Really nice. About an hour away, she calls her, one of her best friends, and it's like, okay, I'll let you know when we're there. Very excited. I can't wait, But then they don't hear from her. And then they don't hear from her the whole next day. And that's not like her. And then the apartment at which they were staying, I think it was the very next day. I don't even know if they made it a whole day. But they walked in and found her in the bedroom, unalived. It looked as if there was some manual stuff that went on, probably, and some beating, and they called the police, and the EMTs came, and she was unalived. And the boyfriend, their friend, was gone. So what cops found out later was that he took her vehicle, which they drove from Phoenix to San Diego, and took her vehicle to the San Diego International Airport, left it in the parking lot. Maybe they thought he'd hop on a plane, rented another vehicle, and then drove it over the border into Mexico. once in Mexico, they lost him. So, what happens? Well, her mother, in like her early adulthood, had lived in Guam and was a police detective. And so even though she wasn't in law enforcement anymore, she remembered the skills and used those skills doggedly. So her mother, Ms. Wentzel, Josephine, Josephine Funes Wentzel. Miss Josephine, she's raising Krystal's 2 kids. You know, she knows, she obviously she was unalived, so she didn't have to worry about where her daughter was. So they bury her, and then she is like, I am going to find her killer. And she goes on the internet and she uses her skill set. She then makes a Facebook page she makes her own like missing poster, and unfortunately in this world it helps if you're like strikingly beautiful, and her daughter Krystal was so beautiful, and I'm sure that was part of it. So on Facebook it went viral, right? And she started getting all these tips, and she was working it, and they found out. So the unaliving happened in 2016. In 2017, they got a tip that he was in Mexico City, I believe. And then in 2018, they got a tip that she would share this with law enforcement, right? So she was getting these tips, going through them, giving them to law enforcement. So she's basically vetting everything and then giving them the best of the best, helping them find him. So they went to look in, and then they saw he was in Belize in 2018, and then they lost track of him again. They were like very close to getting him. So the U.S. Marshals in 2021 and you might remember the U.S. Marshals from the Caitlin Armstrong case, who went to Belize to get her, right? I don't know why everybody runs to Belize. It's like crazy people cult people go to Hawaii, and people running from the law go to Belize. That's an interesting little pattern we have going there. I know a pattern is at least 3 things. There's at least 3 cult people who went to Hawaii, trust me. But I bet I'll find at least another person who's run to Belize. Why? Maybe because their extradition, if you get extradited, they won't extradite you if you're facing the death penalty. I don't know if that's why they run there, but non-extradition people, we talked about this. Anyways, he did leave Belize and then went to, we didn't know at the time, right? So the U.S. Marshals puts him on their 15 most wanted list with a $50,000 reward. Now, he is the first person ever to immediately be put on the list and have that large of a reward. And within 6 months, that September, in the interview room, Chris McDonough of the interview room, which is a YouTube channel, I first met Chris on Mike King's Profiling Evil. And they're both ex-law enforcement who worked in cases. Now, Mike King has a lot of experience with cults and what that can do. Chris has a lot of experience with other things like child crimes. And he has been working doggedly on the Summer Wells case, and really, if you're interested in the Summer Wells case, Chris is not letting up on that. But he was also highlighting this past September 15th, I believe it was, he highlighted this cold case of Krystal Mitchell, and he had her mother on, Josephine, And she talked about her daughter and told the whole story. And I remember that. So when he was caught, I was like, hey, wait, I think I know this story. That sounds like the weirdo. And the mom thought, like, they thought, oh, he'd be a bouncer in a bar. He likes to gamble. Like, that was his life. Like, he'd be in the gym somewhere. He'd be in a gym. Oh, my gosh. So do you want to know where they found him? They located him in a small El Salvadorian town. He was in El Salvador and in Sonsoneta. It's a smaller town. He was teaching English. In fact, when he was caught, he had a shirt that said coach and it said something else. Like it'll change your life or something. Yeah, dude. But didn't I tell you? See, she was saying look in bars, look in gyms. Like he liked this high rolling style because he was like this crazy gym rat and he liked bars. Isn't it interesting that he did what I told Caitlin Armstrong should have done, which is you don't go back to what you did before, you do something completely different. Oh, like teach English. So, yeah, ex-Marine, he wasn't stupid, but I mean, he's obviously, I don't know if he was on steroids and was violent. I don't know why he did that to his beautiful girlfriend. I mean, what an idiot, right? What an idiot. Anyways, yeah, now he's going to go to jail. Hopefully, I mean, first of all, somebody got $50,000 for the tip. He is being extradited back to the U.S. to San Diego. He will stand murder charges. So we caught him. But I'm just saying somebody did. The good guys got him. And so, I don't have anything more to drink to, really, but here's to Krystal. Her children now, they were 3 and 6, are now in middle school, but you know, they have this fabulous grandmother who never stopped looking. And to Josephine, as a mom, I understand you are a queen, like slay queen. So Josephine, I'm glad he was caught. I think that will help you ease your mind a little bit. What a great lady. All right. And now I'm going to tell you about the next person who was caught. Hold on 1 second.